It is almost 10 after, and I have a lot of stuff for us to do today. So I'm going to take just a couple of minutes. I'm going to ask you to hold your questions, or if you have a question, just hit the reactions button, but please don't shout it out right now. I'm going to go over reevaluating your hand. Go quickly. I'm going to go over the homework that I gave those hands, and then we're going to start talking about leads. And there's a lot to talk about with the leads, so I want to have enough time to do that. So reevaluating your hand means once you and your partner have established a fit, or once your partner has made a bid that tells you you have a fit, even if you haven't bid yet. For instance, my partner opens one spade and I've got 3 spades. I know there's a fit. So even though I thought I had a certain number of points, as soon as my partner has made a bid that shows me that we have a fit, I can now look at my short suits and give credit for that. So Mickey says 1 spade. I've got 3 spades. I look at my hand and I see a doubleton there in another suit, obviously not spades. And I say, okay, because we have a fit, that doubleton is now worth 1 point. So for my doubleton, I add that point to my high card points. If it was a singleton, I can add 3 points to my high card points. And if it's a void, Mickey says 1 spade, I've got 3 or 4 spades for her, and I don't have any hearts. I'm going to add 5 points to the value of my hand, to my high card points. And it's obvious why I can do that, because those short suits are very valuable to us, because we can now trump those suits. In a doubleton, I can trump it after 2 losses. That's why it's only worth 1 point. For a singleton, I can trump it after 1 loss because I only have 1. That's why it's worth 3 points. And for a void, I can trump it right away. And if my partner happens to have an ace in the suit in which I have a void, great. I don't have to trump it at all. I can throw off a loser on that, right? Everybody got that? So here's your point count again. Doubletons are worth 1 point. Singletons are worth 3. Voids are worth 5. But remember, you cannot also at the same time count extra length. So if I've got a 5-card suit and a void, I can't count a point for my 5-card suit plus 5 points for my void. So you count the extra length at the beginning, and you count the shortness once you have a fit. I'll take any questions now about reevaluating your hand. It's pretty easy, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. If any question occurs to you, please hit the reactions buttons. Let's look at page 18. And there were a couple of hands that I asked you to go over. And guess who forgot a pencil?
Okay, now we can talk about it.
That's good.
Why don't we try to organize a game on Trickster? Members of this
Okay.
group.
All right, so the first hand, I think we bid this together. Is that correct? Did we bid this? We didn't even bid this together?
No.
Okay, so I asked you to do this for homework. So your opening bid of South should have been 1 heart.
Yes.
You have 7 and 8. You have 15 high card points with 1 extra point for the extra heart.
Yeah.
Now, it does meet the requirements for a 1 no trump opening. Like Michael was saying before, it's got between, wait a minute, does it have 15 high card points?
Yes.
8,
Yes.
7 and 8, yes. It has 15 to 17 high card points, and it's a balanced hand. But you certainly see why it would be more advantageous in that particular hand to bid the 1 heart than the 1 no trump. It really describes the hand better.
Yes.
Okay, all right, so South opens 1 no trump, one heart, and West with her 6 little points, 7 little points is going to
Passes.
pass. All right, North is going
Too
to
hard.
say, I have
Two
3.
hearts.
Please let me do this. 4, 6, 7, 10 high card points, right? She has 1 point for the doubleton in diamonds. Did everybody give that 1 point for the doubleton in diamonds?
Yeah.
Why? Because
Yeah.
as soon as South said 1 heart, North said, we have a fit. So North, and actually a lot of people, even though I said don't give points for extra length, a lot of people would give an additional point to this hand because in addition to the doubleton, there's an extra heart. So they say, okay, no matter what the situation's going on here, if I've got 4 hearts instead of 3 hearts, I'm going to give an extra point for that. So some people would count this as 11 points and some people would count it as 12 because of the extra heart and the doubleton. But either way, you're still going to do a limit raise on that hand. Remember, your partner opens 1 in a major, you've got 11 or 12 points and support in that major, you say 3 hearts. And you're
Okay.
saying, partner, if you have the absolute minimum, you should pass. But if you have a little extra, you should go. East passes. Yes or no, does South have enough points to go to to 4 hearts?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. South only showed 13 points with her opening bid. And based on, if she had 13 points, she'd pass because North only showed 11 or 12. But South has, we said, 15 high card points. Plus she's got a point for the clubs, right? She's got a doubleton also. So South has plenty of points to go to 4 hearts. All right. So the contract is 4 hearts. South is declarer and West is on lead. So what did you guys pick for the lead?
Oh,
2 a diamond.
six diamond.
6
6
diamonds.
of diamonds.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
picked 8 of spades.
So we have a difference of opinion.
Yeah.
Michelle, I see your hand up. I'll call on you in a second. I'd like you to put to say the 8 of spades is the right lead. And we'll talk about why in a minute. Michelle, question.
So you gave an extra point to North for the doubleton and with South. So each person of the partnership.
Yes.
Okay.
Aren't both doubletons valuable?
Yeah, I just didn't know if we were artificially inflating both hands.
I don't think so. Because here's the thing. When you have a shortness in one suit in the dummy and a shortness in a different suit in the hand, and you have trump in both places, you can go back and forth. I can play a card from my hand that I'm out of in the dummy and trump it. And then I can play a card in the dummy that I'm out of in my hand and I can trump that. It's called
Okay.
cross rough. You go back and forth. So shortnesses in both hands are valuable. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Tom, real quick.
Yes, in that case, that would be a case where you wouldn't pull trump because you want your trump to do the cross trumping first?
It depends. That's a good question. It depends on how many trump you have. If you don't have a lot of trump, you may want to do the cross trump first, because if you pull the trump, you may not have enough to do the cross trump. But let's say I'm sitting there with 8 or 9 trump, with 9 trump. Depending on how the trump that I'm missing are distributed, I may have enough trump to pull out my opponent's trump and still have enough to do the cross trump.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so let's go on. So we'll understand more after the lesson about why the 8 of spades was the lead that I would suggest. And the dummy goes down on the table. And even if the lead was the diamond, I mean, that affects the play a little bit, but let's have the 8 of spades as the lead. South is going to make her plan. Now remember, as soon as the first card is played, Clara makes a plan. She doesn't pull anything from the dummy until she has decided how she's going to make this contract. And when you're playing in a suit contract, we count our losers, right? Yes? Yes. When you're playing in a no trump contract, you count your winners. So she's going suit by suit to count her losers. Well, She has one potential loser in spades. And you can actually, what I do when I'm teaching is I write S, H, D, C, and next to it I put down how many losers I think I'm going to have. So it's a good way to keep track. So I'm thinking that she has one potential loser in spades. She can't lose more than one because she only has 3 spades in her hand. And one of them is the ace, and another one
Yes.
is going to go out on her partner's king. So she has the potential to lose the queen of spades. So let's put down one loser in spades. In hearts, she has the potential to lose one heart, but it's unlikely. Does anyone see how she could lose a heart?
No.
No, I'll tell you. She's got the top 3 hearts, the ace,
Somebody
king,
had
and
the
queen.
10-4.
Guys, please. She's got the ace, king, queen, right? Ace, king, queen of hearts. She's missing 4 hearts. If one of her opponents has all 4 hearts that she's missing, she'll lose the jack,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
Yes.
But that is not likely. So if I was making a plan for that, if I was declarer, I'd say one loser in spades. I don't think I'm going to lose anything in hearts. Sometimes the bridge gods have surprises for us, but I would not count that as a loser. In diamonds, I'm looking at one loser in diamonds,
Yes.
right? She's got the ace to cover one of the diamonds that she's got in her hand. I'm sorry, in the dummy. The other one, I don't see any hope for. So we're talking one in spades, one in diamonds. Clubs is the interesting place.
Mhm.
So luckily, the queen is in the right place. Remember finesses?
Yes.
This is where you have to do a finesse. So if she plays the 9 of clubs from her hand and West plays low, she plays the jack, East plays the ace, and she still has the king. But either way, she's losing a spade, right?
Ah,
She
yeah.
can't help but lose to the ace. I don't see any way for her to avoid losing to the ace of spades. So that's the ace of spades.
Ace of
That's
clubs.
what, that's
You're
prob-
saying about the clubs, aren't you?
clubs. I mean, sorry, I said
Yeah.
spades. Yeah. No, I mean clubs. You're right. She loses the ace of clubs. She doesn't lose the ace of spades. She has it. The ace of clubs. She loses a diamond. She loses a spade. And that looks like it to me. Now she could lose the queen and the ace of clubs if they're in the wrong place. Let's say East had the ace and the queen of clubs. Follow along. She plays a low club from her hand. West plays low. She plays the jack from the dummy,
Mm-hmm.
and East plays the queen. And then she still has the ace. In that situation, she'd lose 2 clubs, wouldn't she?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody got that?
Yes.
So she has the potential to lose 2 clubs, 1 diamond, 1 spade. Already we're up to 4 losers, right? And in a doomsday scenario, 1 heart.
Mm.
So this is not a slam dunk. But because the bridge gods were very nice, and so was I, to put the queen of clubs in the right place, she will not lose the queen of clubs. If she plays a low club from her hand, then, and West decides to top it with the queen, which is a very unusual play because usually second hand plays low.
Yes.
By second hand, the second person to play in the trick. So she plays low club from her hand, West decides to top it with the queen, and North plays the king, and East plays the ace. She still has the jack. So she won't lose 2 tricks. Either way, when the queen is in West, she's only going to lose 1 club. I'll take any questions. Good. Let's go to the second hand. North was the dealer. Did you have 1 club as North's opening bid?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. She's got 5 and 7 is 12, and 6 is 18 high card points. It looks no trumpy. And if you did play that you need 16 to 18 points to open 1 no trump, you'd probably open that hand 1 no trump, even though the diamonds are nothing to speak
I
of.
did.
I
Okay,
did also.
But we don't play that way in this class. we play 15 to 17 high card points. And you know why we don't play that way? Because 16 to 18 is antiquated.
Oh,
It's antiquated. Just because you have a no trump configuration of your cards doesn't mean every hand is going to be opened up with no trump. It's got to meet the right point count. That is a one club opening.
So I'm looking at this again, and when I made that decision, I was still trying to think about how the hand is described. One club doesn't describe much. It tells you
It describes
you have 3 clubs and 13 points. Is that
okay,
right?
so you're trying, no, it's not, it's 18 points. It's 13 to 21 points.
When you open,
You're trying to bid.
I'm sorry, I lost you. Could you start again? If you open with, you're saying
If
one
you
club?
open one club, you are saying to your partner, a lot of stuff. I think it describes it great. It says, partner, I have between 13 and 21 points. Partner, I do not have a 5-card major, all of which is true. You are not saying anything that's not true. However, if you say one no trump, and your partner is expecting that your bid means 15 to 17 points, and you in fact have 18 points, you are not saying something that's true. You are misleading your partner.
But you're also not saying that you only have 3 clubs. You're saying that clubs is your longest and strongest.
You are
And you-
saying that you don't have a 5-card major, and
Right.
clubs is the better of your 2 minors.
Yes, it's not.
Right. Thank you. Absolutely, one club is the way to go if you play that one no trump means 15 to 17 points. Because if you say one no, I don't want to spend any more time on this. If you say a bid that means something and you use it to mean something else, you're not consistent, you're misleading your partner. And that's all that's all we can say on that. One club, opening bid. East passes. South is going to respond. If she's got 6 points, she's going to respond. She doesn't have any high cards and hearts. She's gonna respond 1 heart. She's got 5 of them. Even if she only had 4 of them,
oh,
she responds with a 4-card major. Length is more important. How many points does she have? She has 5, 6, 13, 14 points. 14 points in her hand. She doesn't count anything for shortness because there's been no agreement on a suit, right? Now North doesn't know. South could only have 6 points. She could only have 4 hearts. They're going to bid further. They're going to explore further. So South says 1 heart. West passes. It comes back to North. North says, aha, my partner has at least 4 hearts. That extra 5th heart is a little bonus that she's going to find out about later. North's got 4 hearts of her own, right?
yes.
4 hearts of her own, and they're beautiful. Ace and king. So let's look at her points again. 18 points. With 18 points, and this is why you don't have to show that one no trump at the beginning, because here's your chance to show your points, Michael. She said 1 club at the beginning with 18 points. She's got a medium hand. Remember medium hands?
Certainly do. Yep.
She's going to jump.
3 hearts.
She's going to say, excuse me, 3 hearts. What
Right.
does that show her partner? Number 1, it shows her partner that there's heart support. And number 2, it shows her partner that she's got a medium hand, that when she opened 1 club, she in fact didn't have 13 points. She had 17 or 18 points.
Go ahead.
All right. So she's got 18 points.
And
Comes back. I'll take questions in a minute. I see the hands that are up. Please let me
Okay.
finish. So South says, okay, my partner has 17, 18 points. I've got 7, 8, and 5 is 13, plus 1 for the extra, for the shortness and diamonds is 14. 18 and 14 is 32. You know, that's close enough for me to bid slam. Now, some people would say 4 no trump in that situation. Remember, that's asking for aces?
Yeah.
Okay. And if South said 4 no trump, what would North's response be to tell South how many aces she had?
5 clubs?
5 clubs means I have no aces.
Oh, how many would be, how many do they have?
5 diamonds.
5
No,
hearts.
5 hearts.
4 no trump is called Blackwood. It's a convention that asks your partner to describe how many aces they have because you're thinking about slam. So again, when North said 3 hearts, when North jumped to 3 hearts, South said, wow, my partner has a medium hand. She's got 17, 18 points. I've got opening points of myself. I think we have a possibility of slam here. I'm going to ask my partner how many aces she has. So she says 4 no trump. That's Blackwood that says, partner, how many aces do you have?
5.
The response is 5 clubs. I don't have any.
Right,
5 diamonds. I have 1.
5 hearts. Right, okay.
5 hearts. I have 2. North will say 5 hearts. Partner, I have 2 aces. South will say, woohoo! You've got 2 aces. I've got 2 aces. Last time I checked, that meant we have all the aces covered. I'm going to very comfortably go to 6 hearts.
Wow.
That's what the contract should be.
Uh-huh.
And why wouldn't they ask for kings?
Okay, because the Convention of Blackwood says that you ask for kings when you think you're going to make 7. In order to make 7, you need 37 points together.
Got it.
Based on what North told South, she did the math. She's not counting 37 points.
Got it.
She's counting about 32, 33. That's what you need for a small slam, level 6. Okay, and please try to use the button, the reactions button, because if you call out your questions, there are people that have had their hands up waiting to ask questions, and we want to try to take them in some kind of order. I think it was Elsa and then Gail. Please ask your question you're already unmuted. Good.
Why did we count the doubleton in the north hand, but not in the south hand? Well, you said, when we first were bidding, you counted 2 points for the doubleton in that north hand.
No.
I didn't count it, guys.
So how
I
many
didn't count
points?
2 points. I counted 1 point for the doubleton. So North opens 1 club. She can't count the doubleton now because she doesn't know anything about a fit.
Right. Oh, so we
South
didn't
says
count the doubleton at all?
can't count the doubleton until you know there's a fit.
Okay.
So
How many points was that in the north hand?
I think I
18.
counted 18 points, right?
18. 18,
Okay.
yes.
North
I
says
thought-
North says 1 club. South comes back 1 heart, which means I have at least 6 points up to about 17. North says, okay, I'm going to show you how strong my hand is. I am going to jump. So you're wondering why she only counted 18 and not 19 points?
No, I understand now. I do.
Okay. All right. So the contract is 6 hearts. And I want to talk about the lead. Oh, I'm sorry, Gail, you had a question.
Well, that was my question. When you went back from the 1 heart in south to north has 18 points and now knows
Okay.
she has a fit, and
Okay.
add 1 more for the,
All right. So if you do it that way, that's fine. That's a legitimate question. If you do it that way, then you could say that North has 19 points, right?
right.
All right. So then North
then-
wouldn't have said 3 hearts. She would have said 4 hearts, right?
That's what I was going, that's what I
Okay.
said.
All right. So let's say North says 4 hearts. North wouldn't go to 4 hearts. If North says 1 club and South says 1 heart, she could only have 6 points, right? So if North,
Right.
based on just that 1 bid, is able to go all the way to 4 hearts, then what does South know? South knows that North has 19 points.
Mhm.
She would still say, oh, I think we have slam here, and she'd still say 4 no trump.
Oh,
See what I'm
Okay.
saying?
yeah, yeah.
Even though 4 hearts sometimes says stop bidding, in this case, South would know North would not go to 4 hearts unless she had 19 points, because I might only have 6. So if she's jumping to 4 hearts, she's got a powerhouse there. If you add that powerhouse to what I have in my hand, I'm looking at slam. I'm going to use Blackwood and ask her how many aces she has. Madeline, question?
Yeah, you never taught slam. How many points for what slam?
I never did.
No.
thought I did, but are you?
What
were
some
you in-
people know
Were
from
you in
before.
beginner's bridge? Were you in beginner's bridge with
Yes.
me?
Yes.
I believe I said at the beginning when we talked about 25 points for 3-note trump and 26 points for 4 spades, 4 hearts, 28 points for 5 diamonds, 5 clubs. I believe I said for slam, you need 33.
What's it for little slam, big slam?
Little.
And that's
33
6.
points for level 6, 37 points for grand slam. Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. So now we're playing in a contract of 6 hearts. You can only lose 1 trick. Madeline, please put down your hand. Thank you. And West is going to lead. What would you like West to lead?
Jack of diamond.
I think the Jack of diamonds is a good lead. Some people might lead the 6 of clubs because you've got the king and you're trying to force out the ace. But clubs was bid. Remember clubs was bid already? That was North's opening bid. So I think with that in mind, I'm leading the Jack of diamonds. So the Jack of diamonds is led. North puts her hand down on the table. South can only count 1 loser if she is going to make this. So she goes suit by suit. Spades, hearts, diamonds, clubs. In spades, there are no losers. She's got the ace in one hand, the king, queen in the other. She's good. In hearts, she's got 9 trump. She could lose the queen. The best way I would play this is just hope for the drop. She's not going to get it. She's not going to get by the drop. I mean, hope that she plays 1 round of trump, taking with the ace, and then 1 round taking it with the king, and hope that the queen drops. What would the distribution of hearts have to be for that to happen? How could she get, what would the distribution have to be? Marie is going 2 and 2. Marie is right. Marie is saying 2 and 2. Yes. If the hearts were split, the 4 hearts that she's missing was split 2 and 2, the queen would come out. Right?
Yes.
Queen would have to fall. Unfortunately, they're split 3 and 1. She's going to lose the queen. She can't even finesse. I'm doing Betty finesse. She can't even finesse for the queen. Because if she tries to finesse for the queen, she's going to lose it. So she doesn't know it, but the heart is a definite loser. But for now, she's saying maybe. Diamonds, obviously, there are no losers. And spades. What's the only possible loser in spades?
You mean clubs?
Clubs. I keep doing that. I don't know why. What's the only possible loser in clubs?
Okay.
King.
The king.
King.
And she has to finesse for that, right?
Right.
Will she make her finesse?
Yes.
Baby.
The king.
Yeah, she makes it.
Look at it.
Jack.
She doesn't know she'll make it, but you know she'll make it because she leads the jack. If West plays low, she plays low from her hand, from the dummy, sorry. She plays low from the dummy and she wins with the jack. If she leads with the jack and West is not going to cover it. But if she did cover it, she still has the ace. So she has the possibility of losing a club and she has the possibility of losing a heart. And she's not going to lose she's going to lose the heart, but she's not going to lose the club.
Right.
And she's going to make her contract. And I'm very happy about that. Okay? If you haven't dealt out the cards and played them, I would strongly suggest it for next time. Okay, let's talk about leads. And we had a little discrepancy in what we should lead before. And I said that you would understand why I wanted you to lead that. I think it was a spade, I don't remember, in the other hand. So now I'm going to ask, what would you lead? So without looking at the handout, just look up at me, show me those baby blues or big brown eyes. And you can unmute yourself if you'd like to participate, and I'd like you to participate. Just tell me what is your guidance for making a lead. I'm just going to write down what you say. I'm not going to tell you if I agree or not. Just somebody raise your hand, or if you still haven't mastered the raising of your hand, you could just shout it out. But I prefer you to use the hand raise. Elsa, how do you raise, what do you do
I
to,
did both.
you lead low?
Oh, no, you said the fourth down from the longest suit.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're doing fourth down
Sorry.
from longest suit. So that's your guide.
Yes.
Okay. So whatever suit you have the most of, you lead fourth down from the longest. Okay. Please don't write these down because I am not telling you this is what you should do. I am just getting down what you said. Anybody else? Henrietta?
If your partner has bid, you lead your partner's suit.
Okay, so you lead your partner's bid suit. Do you want to tell me what you would lead in that suit?
I would lead a medium card.
I would lead the top.
Low. I would lead low.
Please don't, just wait until I call on you. So you would, Henrietta, what did you say you would lead?
I would lead low.
Lead low. No matter how many you have, you would lead low.
Singleton, I would lead.
Sandra, I see your hand up. What would you lead?
A singleton?
You would lead a singleton. Any particular suit?
Not Trump.
Not Trump. I'll hold this up in a minute. Oh, I said that not the Trump card, I meant the Trump suit. Anybody else want to chime in? Marie?
Yes, if it's no Trump, I would lead with an ace
You lead an ace and no Trump.
and no Trump.
And Marilyn, what would you lead?
Touching honors,
What does that mean?
king, queen, king, ace, queen.
Which one would you lead?
If it's king, lead the king.
So you'd lead the higher of touching honors.
Yes.
And I'll take one more. Anybody else?
Yeah.
You guys are getting good at this. Mickey, you want to try?
Yeah, if I had two in a suit, I would lead high-low.
Tell us what that means.
I would lead the highest one in the suit.
Your doubleton?
In the doubleton, yes. And then the next one, I would lead a low to cue to my partner if they have more that I was now out and they can, if they have another to trumpet.
All right, so I'm out of space on my board here. So I will say that some of these are coming right out of my lesson. So I don't know if these suggestions are coming because you read the lesson already, or because you have experience, or because it made sense to you. But some of them I agree with and some of them I do not. And I'm just going to point out right now, just one that I definitely do not agree with. And that is leading an ace when you're playing no trump. Because an ace would always be good in no trump. And what are they going to give you for that ace? They're going to give you their 2s and 3s, your opponents.
Okay.
So that is the one thing I'm just cautioning you never to do, unless you happen to have the king and the queen and the jack with it. But not just an ace, solitary ace and no trump, because that will always be good. Okay. So with that in mind, and I'm not going to give you any kind of opinion on that. See if I can share my screen. Okay. Can you guys all see this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you on a piece of paper to just write, let's see how many. We have 3 scenarios. Just do number 1. And under number 1, write AB. Just the letter A and the letter B. Then number 2, and under that AB. And number 3, and under that AB. Okay.
Do
So
you
just take, just,
is this in our
Sandra,
packet?
what is the problem? What?
Is this in our package? Because I can't really
No.
put it on the screen.
If it was in the package, I wouldn't be putting it on the screen.
Okay,
It's on the screen because you don't have it in your package.
all right.
Is
It's
this
hard-
important, Elsa? I can't hear you. Yes? I'm gonna go on. I can't hear you, Elsa. And I don't understand what anybody would have as a question here. I just want you to look at this. I know you don't see the whole paper because I didn't scroll down. I don't even want,
All right.
Sandra, could you please put your hand down, your electronic hand, and I'd like everyone to look at here. So I have 3 scenarios here. And in each scenario, you are south and your partner is the dealer. And I showed you the bidding for all 3 scenarios, but we're gonna do them one at a time. So I asked you to write 1 AB, 2 AB, and 3 AB. We're gonna look at number 1 first. And here's scenario number 1. Your partner opens 1 heart. His opponent, your right-hand opponent, says 1 spade. You, as his partner, respond 2 hearts. Tell me what you have. Should say 6 to 10 points and support for his hearts, right?
Yes.
1 heart, 2 hearts, that's what it means. He says, his East's partner says 2 spades. So 1 heart from your partner, 1 spade from your opponent, 2 hearts from you, 2 spades from West. Your partner has passed. What does that tell you? He says, well, if you only have 6 to 10 points, we don't have any chance for game, so I'm going to stop bidding. Right? So I'm figuring him for about 13, 14, 15 points. He knows you have 6 to 10, and he's decided this is getting too rich for my blood. I can't bid anymore. Please mute yourself if you have a phone call. East is inviting his partner to game. He says 3 spades. And you pass. And West decides, I'm going to go to game. I think my partner and I have 26 points together, which is possible. And everybody passes. Okay, so the contract is 4 spades. Who is declarer? East is declarer because he's first in spades, which means West is the dummy, which means you as South are on lead.
The lead.
Right?
Right.
Okay, so I've given you 2 scenarios. I'm going to ask you, because I haven't taught you the lesson yet, please do not say what you think. I just want you next to A, 1A, don't say it, please, to write down what you think your lead should be. I'm going to go back and talk about this after. Next to B, remember the bidding is the same. Partner opened 1 heart. East said 1 spade. You said 2 hearts. East and West ended up in 4 spades. You're on lead. What do you think your lead should be in B? Sorry about that, guys.
B.
Okay. All right, let's go to 2. I'm scrolling up. If you didn't get a chance to do that, we're gonna look at this again. Okay. Hang on 1 second. I can't get it up any higher, but okay. So 2 is North is the dealer, you are South. With this bidding, what do you lead? This time your partner passed. East opened 1 spade, you passed. West said 3 spades. East said 4 spades. Again, they're in 4 spades, but this time you didn't hear a bid from your partner. So let's look at A. Were you right to pass when your partner passed? Did you have an overcall that you could do in A?
No.
You don't, first of all, you don't have a 5-card suit. You can't do a double. You don't have 3 to 4 cards in each of the unbid suits. You don't even have opening points. You absolutely had to pass. The question is, you're on lead. Please don't say it, but please write down next to 2A what you would lead, what you think you would lead. In B, you have even fewer points. You've got 7 points. Your partner passed, you have no bid. But you're on lead against the contract of 4 spades with your partner not having bid. Please write down what you think you should leave. Okay, I can't get this to go any higher, but we're on the 3rd scenario. And it says, same partners with this bidding, what do you leave? Your partner passes again. East opens 1 heart. And you and your partner pass. West responds 1 spade. East now tries 2 clubs. What is East saying when she says 2 clubs?
No.
Like, that's a strong point.
Saying, I don't have 4 spades because you only promised me 4 spades, West, right? I can't repeat my hearts. I don't have 6. So I'm going to try another suit that's good. How many clubs do you think East has?
You have
5.
none.
She could
4.
have 5, but she's only
5.
promising 4.
4.
She could have had 5 hearts and 5 clubs, but she's only promising 4. She's not going to introduce a suit with 3. So I think she has 5 hearts and 4 clubs. She definitely does not have 4 spades. Everyone understand why, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
partner promised her 4 spades. When you respond, you have to have 4. West responded 1 spade. West says, I don't have 3 hearts for you. I'm going to show you my spades. Or I do have 3 hearts, but my spades are so wonderful. I want to show them to you first. So East says 1 heart. West says 1 spade. East says, I don't like your spades. I can't hit my hearts again. I'm going to say 2 clubs. But look what West does. West comes back and says 3 hearts. So tell me about West's hearts.
You got 4.
Did she in fact,
No,
have
more.
3? Did she in fact have 3?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
there's more.
Because East did not bid those hearts twice. So East is not saying she has 6 hearts.
Yes.
Remember, you're saying you have 6 hearts when you bid them twice. So
Right.
West is bidding her partner suit. She's promising a fit.
Right.
And West is saying, okay, I didn't want to show you the hearts before because my spades was so pretty, but you don't like my spades. So I'm going to show you support in hearts. Do you think West has 4 spades or more? You might be muted. I think West has more than 4 spades. I think for her to deny or not tell her partner that they have a fit in hearts and bid another suit first, her spades must have been really pretty. I think she probably has 5. So when East hears that West has hearts for her, she goes to 4 hearts. So what do you think? How many points do you think East has? Think she has 13 or you think she has more than 13?
I think she has more.
More than
I think
that.
she has more
More.
because if West had opening points of her own, she wouldn't have invited her to the 3 hearts. She would have just gone to 4 hearts by herself.
Hmm.
Follow?
Yeah.
He who knows goes.
Mhm.
Okay. Are there any questions about the bidding? Just the bidding. I'll take questions about, because we jumped around with a lot of suits here. Anybody not understand why the bidding is the way it is? Great. You're doing well. Okay. Now we're up to 3A and 3B. Please don't call out the lead, but based on this bidding, what would you have South lead? Because again, East is declara and West is dummy, so South's on lead. What would you have East lead, South lead? In A, and write down the card that South would lead in B. And when you finish that, just put it someplace to the side because we're going to come back to this after the lesson and see if you've changed your mind about any of these things. All right, can I stop the share now? Can I close this down?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, we're back. So we can now turn to page 19. Some of those leads were a little iffy, right?
Yes.
Let's see if we can uniffy them. Just made up a word. So if you follow along on page 19, the player to the right of the dummy makes the opening lead. We know that. This is your opportunity. You make your lead. This is your opportunity to try to establish a suit in which you could take tricks or to show shortness. So your partner can play this suit and you control. So you're either trying to push a suit that you're really good in, either you or your partner, or you're trying to play a suit that you're short in so that when that suit is played again, you can trump it. But of course, if you don't happen to have any cards in the trump suit, playing a suit that you're short in isn't going to help you, is it?
No.
Because you won't be able to trump it afterwards. So first thing you're going to do when you're playing in a suit contract. Thank you. When you're playing in a suit contract, number one rule, if your partner has bid a suit, you want to lead it. What if you're sitting there going, but I have a good suit and he bid a suit? Would you like to hear your partner telling you for the rest of your life, you know, if you had led my the diamonds that I bid, I had an ace, I would have gotten a trick? You don't want to hear that. You don't want to be near. Lead your partner's suit. So what do you lead? This is why I asked you when you were going over this stuff with me. I asked you, what would you lead in that suit? Which card? So here's number one. You have a singleton in your partner's suit. Lead it. Let's say your partner has an ace in that suit and that's the only thing he has in that suit and everything else is little. So you lead a card in that suit. He takes it with the ace. He plays it back to you because you let it. He's going to play it back. He plays it back to you and you trump it. Wouldn't that be lovely? So singleton in your partner's suit, lead it. This is what Mickey said. Well, I think it was Mickey. If you have two cards in your partner's suit, lead the high card first and make that as a mantra. If I'm leading a doubleton, I lead the high card first. And as she said, that's because when your partner sees that the second time you play a card in that suit, you play the lower one, he's going to say, why is she playing the jack and then she's playing the 7? Oh, that must mean she doesn't have any more. If I get a chance, I'm going to play back that suit so she could trump it. I hope that makes sense. When you play the lower card, the next time that suit is played, your partner will know that you're out of that suit and you can trump it. Touching honors. Somebody mentioned touching honors. That is a very good phrase. It means I have consecutive cards in high cards. I have a king, queen, jack, ace, king, queen, jack, 10. If you have consecutive cards, even a jack, 10, 9, if you have consecutive cards, lead the highest one first. And you're saying, why would I do that? That's because you want to send a message to your partner, which is your highest card. Let me give you an example. Let me erase first. Okay, so let's say you've got a king, king, queen, jack. No, let's make it a queen, jack, 10, sorry. A queen, jack, 10. And you say it doesn't make a difference which one I lead, so I'm going to lead the 10. Your partner is sitting there with the king. He may play that king on your 10 because he's afraid that that 10 is going to lose to the jack or the queen because you had it and you didn't tell him. So you lead the 10, the next person plays low, and he plays a king on top of it that he didn't have to play because your queen was just as good as your 10. Do you understand that he didn't have to play the king? And do you understand that he played the king because you never told him where the queen was? So you play the highest one. So when he looks at that queen, he goes, okay. Now, if he has the ace king Is he going to play the ace? No, because that if he has the ace king and you have the queen, your queen is good. So that's the advantage of playing the highest one of touching honors. And that's the reason. Let your partner know the best card you have in that suit. He's going to know if you lead a queen of clubs that you're not playing fourth down from your longest and strongest, right? He's saying, why is she leading a high card? Must be she has the ones under it. So if you lead an ace, your partner probably thinks you have the king, unless it's a singleton. If you lead a king, what is your partner pretty sure that you have?
The queen.
Queen and the jack, or at least the queen. Okay, touching honors, lead the highest one. If you have an ace in your partner's suit, lead the ace first. And here's why. Let's say your partner has a whole bunch of cards in that suit. He bid hearts. Maybe he bid hearts twice. He's got a whole bunch of hearts. If he's got a whole bunch, there's only 13 in the hand. The opponents don't have. So maybe your opponents have a singleton or a doubleton in your partner's suit, right? You decide not to play the ace. They take the trick. They take it with the king. And they only had one heart, which they play on their king. What happens to your ace? They're out of hearts. You're never going to get your ace good. Whereas if you led your ace, you would have gotten it because they had one heart and they had to play it on your ace. Right? So if your partner has bid a suit and you've got the ace in it, play it and then lead it back to him. Hopefully he has the king. Here's what happens if you don't have a doubleton in your partner's suit, you don't have a singleton in your partner's suit, you don't have an ace in your partner's suit. We all know the city of Boston, right? Massachusetts, very nice. It's a nice place to visit, but it's also a nice acronym for bridge. So my partner has bid a suit. I don't have an ace. I can't lead it. I don't have a singleton in that suit. I don't have a doubleton to play high-low. Everyone knows what high-low means, right? I don't have touching honors in my partner's suit. What do I have? I have a jack, 6, 3. What do I lead? Well, here's the acronym Boston. Boston, B-O-S-T-O-N, unless I'm misspelling it, right? I'm going to take that word Boston, I'm going to split it in half. B-O-S-T-O-N. What does B-O-S mean? Bottom of something. So if I have 3 cards in my partner's bid suit, and there's something on top of those 3 cards, like at least a jack, a queen, a king, 3 cards, I am going to lead the bottom, the lowest card I have. The jack is something. In this case, I'm leading the 3. BOS, bottom of something. What if I don't have something good topping those 3 cards? What if I have a 7, 3, 2? You all agree that's garbage? Anybody think that 7 is nice? I don't think so. What do you think the TON stands for? If the POS is bottom of something, the TON is top of
Number,
nothing.
No.
nothing.
Do you agree that this is nothing?
Yes.
What would you lead?
7.
7. Isn't Boston wonderful? Besides the swan boats that I used to go on when I was a kid. So bottom of something, this is 3 cards in your partner's bid suit. Bottom of something, at least the jack, top of nothing. Questions?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I remember once being taught that mud was to be used under those circumstances, middle up, down. Did you ever hear of that?
I've heard of mud. I like this better.
Okay.
They're all different. You know, like I say all the time, it's all according to what feels right. And bridge is a very evolving game. Mud was a lot of years ago. You know, a lot of people have changed their thinking and they think that this is a better way of doing it. Try different ways. See which one works better for you. Know what I'm saying?
If you have two cards in your partner's suit,
Top,
we
the high
thought,
one, high low.
when you lead one, does your partner know that immediately, or might they think it's a part of Boston?
They might think it's a singleton. They're going to play their highest card. When you lead a card, dummy is the second card to play and your partner is the third, right?
Right,
Third hand plays high.
right.
Your partner will play his highest card unless you've led a king and he's sitting there with the ace.
I
He's
understand.
not going to play his highest card then. You understand? That would be silly. If you lead a king and then the dummy plays something and then your partner is not going to play his highest card, even though he's the third person. If his highest card beats your card, he's not going to play an ace on it.
Correct, but if you have I'm getting
You lead a
trouble here.
three, he
If you have
plays a four, your partner has a king, he's going to play the king. He's going to play the
Suppose I have
highest card he's got.
Suppose I have a 5-3 in my partner's suit.
Yes,
Well, I should lead the 5.
yes.
But the part at that point won't know what I really have. I
Nope.
could be-
He's
okay,
just going
that's
to
all I
play his
wanted to know.
He's going to play his highest card, then he's going to play a card back to you.
I just want to know because I thought the minute you show a card, they'll know. But in this case, of course not. Okay. Okay.
Marilyn?
If your touching honors are king and ace and you have low cards as well, which do you lead?
Ace.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so if you have a different scenario, you don't have one card, you don't have two cards, you don't have three cards, you don't have touching honors. You have this in your partner's bid suit. Eight, 7, 3, 2. You don't have Boston here because Boston is when you have three cards. Just leave the fourth down. So no matter how you slice it, if your partner has bid, lead his suit. Okay? All right. I want to look at this note here. I don't know if we're going to actually get to finish this. So your partner, you are the partner of the person who made the opening lead. We're only talking about opening leads here. We're not talking about during the play of the game. We're just talking about the first card played. So your partner makes the opening lead and he plays an honor card, a high card in your bid suit. So let's say your partner leads the king, right? He leads a king. And I'm sorry, take that. He leads an ace. He leads an ace. He leads an ace. Everybody plays low. You want to let him know that you have the king so he can play it back, right? How are you going to tell him, play that suit again because the next time you play it, I have the king, I can take the trick. He led the ace. Dummy played low. What can you do to tell your partner, you have the lead after this trick, play that back, I have the king. You're going to play a higher card in that suit. You can give him a signal. I'm back on page 19. You can give him a signal to play the suit again by playing a card higher than your lowest card. So let's say he leads the ace of diamonds for whatever reason. You bid diamonds. That's why he led the ace. You bid diamonds. He's got the ace. He's going to lead an ace in his partner's bid suit. And you're sitting there with the king, 9, 3, 2. Okay. You might feel, well, he led an ace, I'm just gonna put a 2 on it, right?
Mhm.
Why would I waste the higher card?
Yep.
But if you put a 2 on it, what you're doing is you're actually telling him, don't play this back because I don't have the next highest cards. That's discouraging him from playing it back. What you can do is maybe play the 9 on it. You drop the 9 on his ace, and he knows that if you bid this suit, the 9 is probably not your lowest card. So you're playing the 9 because you want him to play it back. You're encouraging him to play it back. So he's going to play it back and you'll take it with the king. If you can remember that, that's good. But if in fact this was topped by a jack, not a king, you wouldn't want him to play it back. So then in that case, when he plays the ace, you play the 2 on it, discouraging him. Follow?
Yeah.
Good.
But
Okay.
it's not an absolute. It's just encouraging him.
Yeah.
He could be encouraged and still lose it. I mean, or something like that, right?
Well, I wouldn't encourage him if I wasn't pretty sure I would take the next truck. Okay, I just want to tell you, we have 21 minutes. We haven't gone back to the share. We haven't looked at the sample hands, and we still have a lot more material to go through. So I'm going to ask you to hold your questions if you can. All right. If your partner has not bid, your second choice, I'm on page 19, is to play a card from your best suit. What are you going to do? Remember those touching honors?
Yes.
Again, touching honors. I also have, so if you have king, queen, lead the king. Queen, jack, 10, lead the queen. Lead the ace. I'm very wary about leading aces. But if you have a long suit, I'm going to ask you to lead the ace, because if you have a long suit, they probably don't have very many in that suit. And again, you want to make sure you get a trick with that ace. If you wait and they had a singleton, they may throw off that singleton in your suit on something else, and then you can't get cash in your ace. You guys understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Anybody not understand that? Because I'm talking very quickly. So I want to make sure you all get that.
But only if you have a long suit.
I think so. I mean, if I'm sitting there with an ace, 5, 3, 2, I don't want to lead that ace. I'm going to look and see something else. Maybe I have a singleton, maybe I have touching honors.
Right.
Maybe I have a long suit somewhere else. Because what am I going to get for my ace? I'm not going to get much. So if neither of those two situations exist, you don't have an ace on top of a long suit, you don't have touching honors, then you lead low from your best suit. Somebody was saying 4th down from your longest and strongest. This is where I lead 4th down from my longest and strongest, but only if I don't have the other stuff. And we also had some scenarios on that shared screen, you know, when I brought up that hand and I had you do 1A, 1AB, etc. I said, you and your partner have not bid. I think it was only in the first hand that my partner bid. So what would I do? Now I can look at the unbid suits. If my opponents have bid a suit, it's not a suit that I really want to lead. So I'm going to look at unbid suits. What can I do? I can lead touching honors in an unbid suit. I can lead my singleton. I can lead my doubleton. I can lead low in an unbid suit. So the things are the same: touching honors, high, low, and doubletons, singletons, aces in many cases, and leading low in an unbid, leading low from 4th down from your longest and strongest. It just appears in all of these situations. And again, when defending against a no trump contract on page 20, do not lead aces. Aces will always be good. Save them to beat your opponent's kings and queens and jacks. Don't play them. If you lead them, they will give you their garbage. And you've just made their kings and queens good. And do they have kings and queens if they're bidding no trump?
Yes.
Don't make the kings and queens good. Get something for your ace. So if your partner has bid a suit and you're leading against no trump, Again, always lead your partner's bid suit. But if your partner hasn't said anything and you're playing in no trump, fourth down from your longest and strongest suit. And if you have a choice between suits and you can lead a suit that wasn't bid, or betterer, as they say, right? Because that unbid suit might be the one that your opponents are weak in. You might be able to give it to them. But you can't. Okay. Big letters. Don't lead singletons or doubletons to no trump. Don't sit there and go, oh, I'm leaning against no trump. I'm going to lead my doubleton. What good is that going to do you? You're not going to be able to trump that suit. You want to lead your longer suits in no trump and your shorter suits in a suit contract. Voiding yourself in a suit doesn't do you any good in no trump. You want to play your better suits. Any questions about that?
No.
Okay. I am going to leave leading cards during the play of the hand for next time. It's very important, but we're not going to have time to cover it. So we're just going to do opening leads now, and I'm going to bring you back to that shared screen thing that we had. Hang on, where is it? Shared screen. What would you, okay. Okay, let's go back. Now, armed with all this information, let's go back to 1A. Now, I'm not going to ask you what you put down, but let's just think now about what we should lead. So the bidding was 1 heart by your partner, and the contract ended up in 4 spades by your opponents. So here's a situation where your partner has bid. So you want to lead his suit. I will take hands raised, please. Please don't call out unless you have absolutely no idea how to raise your hand here. When I say raise your hand, I mean with the button. What would you lead in this situation? Sandra. Sandra, you have to unmute.
1 heart, an ace of hearts.
Does everyone agree?
Yes.
And after that, hopefully your opponents have enough hearts that your king will be good too. Ace of hearts, top of touching honors. Thank you. Please raise your hand for B. What would you lead?
Go with the 3 of clubs.
2 of hearts.
Diamonds.
Neither one of those answers is correct.
7 of diamonds.
No.
No.
7 of diamonds.
Okay, I want to
7 of
stop you. I
diamonds.
want to stop you.
7 of
Stop
diamonds.
you. We're just calling out cards. I want to stop you. Your partner has bid hearts. You're going to lead your partner's suit.
Oh.
You have to lead hearts.
Oh.
2 of hearts.
Remember, no, it's not the 2 of hearts.
9.
It's the 9.
Why?
Bottom of something, top of nothing.
Oh,
Remember Boston?
yeah,
I'm calling that 9 nothing.
yes.
You'd only lead the 2 if those 3 cards were topped by something decent. Those 3 cards are topped by bleh. So top of nothing, that's nothing. Lead the top, lead the 9. Everybody got it?
Mhm.
Yes.
Giving me the look that says there's too much to remember. And I'm giving you the look that says deal with it. Study. Okay, scenario 2. North is the dealer. Again, you are south. I'm giving you the bidding again. North has passed, your partner has passed. Your opponents have only bid spades. They've ended up in 4 spades. Look at hand A with the queen 9-2 of spades. Please don't call out. If your hand is up, that means you want to share with us what you think you would lead in that case. So Shelley, what would you lead? Your hand is up.
Ace of diamonds.
I agree with you. But I have a doubleton, Anne. So what? Are you sure of a trick with the doubleton? Are you sure of a trick with the ace of diamonds? Almost
Yes.
definitely.
Mhm.
I'm playing the ace. Hopefully my opponents have enough diamonds that I can get my king and maybe even my queen good. Ace, king, queen, boom, boom, boom. It's an unbid suit and it's gorgeous. Top of touching honors. Now, you may say, why the ace? Why not the queen? My partner can't beat it, right? There's no danger of my partner putting an ace on that queen because I've got the ace. What if your partner is out of that suit and he decides to trump it because he thinks they have the ace? Wouldn't you like to just go jump out a window if, well, no, don't jump. But wouldn't you get upset if he trumped you a good card? So show him where the highest card is and play that ace. It saves, having to take Tums every day for the rest of your life. Speaking as one who knows. Okay, in hand number scenario 2B, the one with the queen 9-2 of spades, but the ace 7-5-2 of hearts, please don't call out. Now that you've had all this education, please indicate what you think you would lead in this case. You're calling out, and I specifically asked you not. Okay, I will take suggestions. Marie, what say you?
2 hearts.
No,
We're in spades,
I'm
right?
just asking people to raise their hands.
I can't.
I can't raise my hand. The only suit bid was spades.
I'm saying the 9 of clubs.
9 of
Well,
clubs.
that's what I did.
Because
Okay.
it's Doubleton.
Then here's why I want you to play the 9 of clubs.
Clubs, right.
You could lead the ace of hearts, but remember what you're going to get for that ace?
Nothing.
It is very different from leading an ace of hearts if your partner bid hearts. Your partner bid hearts, I want to lead that ace. Maybe the opponents don't have a lot. But here, you're going to lead it. Don't lead an ace unless your partner bid it, or unless you have a lot of them and you're afraid you're not going to get your ace good. But just leading an ace here, yeah, it'll probably be good. It'll probably take a trick, but then what? Save that ace to beat your opponent's good cards. But you have a perfect doubleton there in the clubs. Lead the 9 of clubs. Next time clubs are played, you'll show the 2.
Okay.
Hopefully your partner is paying attention to what you're playing, and he'll notice that you played a high-low, and that he'll lead the club back and you can trump it. And you do have 3 trump. And hopefully all this can happen before your opponents pull the trump out of your hand. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm still hearing the wrong leads. Let's think about what we learned. Okay, now we have a little bit more complicated bidding. The third scenario, your partner still passed, you passed, but now East and West had to kind of take a few steps to come up with the right suit. And remember, East opened a heart, West responded with 1 spade, saying, maybe I don't have support for you, maybe I do, but if I don't have support for you, I'm bidding something else because I don't have support, or if I do have support for you, I'm bidding something else because I want to show you this really pretty suit first. So you don't immediately have to show that you have support. So East says a heart, West says a spade. East says, you know what? I don't have spades for you. I don't have 4. I can't bid my hearts again. I'm going to show you another suit that I have that's decent, 2 clubs. West says, you know what? I really had support for you all along. I just wanted to show you the spades first. So I'm going to support you now by bidding hearts. But I'm not going to go to game. I'm not going to say 4 hearts because I can't be sure we have 26 points because I've only got like maybe 11. So I'm going to invite you, or 12. You with me so far? And he says, oh, if you've got support for me, I've got a couple extra points. I'm going to go to game. So the contract is 4 hearts. So now you're on lead. You're an A and you're on lead. You're not going to lead a heart. You're not going to lead a spade, even though you have a doubleton in spades. You're not going to lead a spade because They
They
bid
did
it.
it. They bid
And you're
it.
not going to lead clubs because they bid it. So you want to lead an unbid
Diamond.
suit, and you're going to lead diamonds.
Queen
Which
of
card are
Diamonds.
you going to lead in diamonds? You're going to lead the top of touching honors in diamonds. You're going to lead the queen of diamonds.
I did that.
Good. And it's the same thing in B. You're still going to lead diamonds. Please don't tell me you would think about leading that heart because it's a singleton. So that's the kind of thing that makes me go, aha, because it's Trump. All right, so you're still going to lead diamonds, except now you don't have touching honors. So you're not going to lead high.
Three of
Lead
diamonds.
now, you're gonna lead the three. I'll
Very
take
good.
questions. Kelly, you have a question or you just didn't put your hand down? That's okay. I just wanted to make sure you didn't have a question. Marie, do you have a question or you didn't put your hand down?
No, I can't, I don't have, oh, wait, I'll take it.
Doesn't your arm get tired? Tom, what's your question?
When you said about the 2 clubs, is that 5 guaranteed?
No, not necessarily. We had that, I was talking about that before. It is possible that East had 5 hearts and 5 clubs and bid the hearts first and then the clubs, but he doesn't have to. He could have 5 hearts and 4 clubs and still bid the clubs as a second suit. But he'd have to have at least 4. Okay, Tom?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. All right, I'm going to stop the share. And I'm going to say in the 6 minutes we have left, let's just at least bid out the hands on page 21.
Okay.
All right, so if you wouldn't mind, if you're going to count out loud or think out loud, if you could mute yourself while you're doing that, but I'd like you to take about 5 minutes. That's all we have. Take 4 minutes and try to bid out both hands. I don't know if it's going to be possible, but try to at least get the bidding down. South is the dealer in hand 1, East is the dealer in hand 2. I'm going to put my email address one more time into the chat if you have a question. You guys done with the first one yet?
Yes,
All right, thank you. Is there anyone who's still working on the first hand? I'm going to ask you to come together and let's just look at the first hand. All right, I don't want to like do things like crazy rush. So can you just stop what you're doing, please? And let's look at the first hand together, guys, and we can always take up the second hand next week. As Scarlett O'Hara said, there'll always be well, she said something like tomorrow. There'll always be a tomorrow. All right. So we have South as the dealer in the first hand. And I think we all agree that South is going to open one spade, right, guys?
Yes.
Right.
South has 6, 7, 7 and 14, 15, 16, 17 points.
Yes.
How did I get 17 points? I had 15 high card points and 2 points for the extra 2 spades.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. Did anyone have West doing an overcall of 2 hearts?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did.
Yes.
I
Yes.
did. Right. West has 7, 11, 12 high card points, 2 points for the extra 2 hearts with 14 points and a 5 card suit. Yes, I know she has 6, but with 14 points, with opening points and a 5 card suit, she can overcall 2 hearts.
Yes.
Anyone have a question about that?
No.
She doesn't need the 2 honors because she has opening points. That's enough. You only need those 2 honors in an overcall when you're overcalling with fewer than opening points, right? Remember the 10,
Right.
5, 2, 10 points, 5 cards in the suit, 2 honors. North is responding to her partner's opening bid of 1 spade. Can North bid what? Can North respond?
Yes.
Can she bid her partner's suit?
Yes.
She has support for her partner.
Two.
She's got 6, 7, 9 points, high card points. And she's got 1 point for the doubleton in hearts
Yeah.
because there's a fit.
Okay.
He's not going to also give herself an extra point for the extra club, right?
Right.
It's one of the other guys. So she's going to give herself the point for the doubleton because that's where it comes. So she's got, what did I say? 9, 10 points in her hand. 10 points in her hand. With 10 points, with 6 to 10 points, she responds 2 spades.
2.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And of course, with East's hand, she has nothing. She's not, even if her partner opened, she doesn't really have a bid. So
she can't.
unless her partner opened diamonds. So East is going to pass. So now it comes back to South. Did you have South bidding 4 spades?
Yes.
I did not.
I did. No.
I did not.
Three spade.
South has 6, like we said, 6, 7, 14, 15, 16, 17 points is a medium hand. With a medium hand, jump 1 level, but you don't jump to game. If South had 19 points, she'd go to game. But remember, North could only have 6 points and make her bid. 17 and 6 is 23. That's not enough for game. So you can't have South running to game, but South, oh, sorry, Natasha. I've been told I have to stop. Okay, so South is going to say 3 spades, and I don't think North is going to accept the invitation.
No.
And I think the contract is going to end in 3 spades.
Okay.
Okay, and if you look, when you check it out, they really have, you know, it's going to be tough to make. It's going to be tough to make 4 spades. Okay, so we'll talk about more about the lead in this hand and how to play it, and we'll talk about hand number 2. And next week we will do. Oh my goodness! I apologize. I apologize. I apologize 6 times over. Next week is Blackwood, and I'm sitting there expecting you to know Blackwood.
That's right.
Shame on me.
Didn't do it yet.
Didn't do it. You mean you can't read my mind? Okay, forget about not me yelling about why you didn't know Blackwood. Next week, all right? Next week, all that stuff we did today with 4-note trump and 5 clubs, 5 diamonds, it's all gonna be crystal. Okay, so read over the rest of this lesson, look at hand number 2, and I'll see you next week, guys.